Hello, everyone. We're trying to get this live to work. Thank you for joining us. Let me know, comment if you have audio and can see me. Can you guys see and hear me? Hello, hello. Okay. Well, I'm going to try this again. I think maybe Instagram and Facebook may be having issues, but we are live with audio on YouTube. So I'm going to start again. Happy 4th of July to all who celebrate. This holiday can mean many things to different people. And while I believe in the values of freedom and justice that this day is supposed to represent, especially as a first generation American, as my parents were immigrants to this country, I can't also ignore the great pain and the harm that our communities, immigrant communities, as well as family abroad, that have suffered from either being detained or homes bombed, and the US government supporting such horrific actions, both internally and abroad in other countries. So this really hits close to home. And today I'm holding space for gratitude as well as for grief. And I'm grateful for the resilience of our people, of the American people. And as I mentioned, my name is Solmaz Tagavi with Tagavi Immigration Law, and we are committed to building a future that includes equality for everyone. So thank you for joining us on this 4th of July. All right. So first I want to mention that there is a special going on for 4th of July. The special is $100 off your legal services. It's only for the month of July. And so what that means is when you go to book, you must first book online. So go to our website, tilimmigration.com. You can also search my name, Solmaz Tagavi, find our website. There will be a link for you to book your free case evaluation. And there'll be a section for a coupon, and you can put in all caps the coupon. And I'm dropping the coupon here for those who are watching the live event. The coupon is July 4. That's JULY, all caps, number 4, July 4. Put in that coupon, book your case evaluation. This is only for the month of July, for the 4th of July Independence Day special. If you're offered a contract with us because there's something that we can do to help you, you will receive $100 off. But you must book your case evaluation in July. You must put in the code. You must book the case evaluation online and hire us in the month of July in order to get the discount. So this is just happening in July. So please make sure, if this is the moment for you, to go ahead and take advantage of it, because we don't do this very often. All right. So I want to transition into talking about citizenship and what wonderful legal rights can be given to you for our clients or in our community, especially in a very uncertain time as now. And one thing is what's called the N600. N600 is a certificate of citizenship. It is for people who received automatic citizenship. How does one receive automatic citizenship? For example, you are a minor child under the age of 18 and you and your parent are in the United States with your green card, and your parent becomes a US citizen. They naturalize. So you automatically, because you're a minor, become a US citizen. That's automatic citizenship. And what do? Well, you have to put a bunch of documents together and you can go get your US passport. But aside from the US passport, you won't have anything else to show that you're a US citizen. That's where the N600 or certificate of citizenship is very necessary. Especially right now, there's increased scrutiny on travel, identification, and immigration status. That just having that US passport without anything else may not be enough. A certificate of citizenship is super, super important. And we highly recommend that in this day and age that you get one. Also for the N400, which is your certificate of naturalization, when you're actually going through the naturalization process to become a citizen. As you know, birthright citizenship is under scrutiny. U.S. citizens who naturalized are now under scrutiny for denaturalizing them. So don't run away, don't hide. You should apply for becoming a citizen, because it's way better than not being a citizen, because your status is not as protected and you don't have as many rights. There's some confusion about what rights that non-citizens or people with no status have. And I think that's a whole other live, but I just want to talk about citizenship today. And I think that you shouldn't delay. You should apply to become a citizen. And although we're not in an election year where citizenship happens super quick because people want to get this done very quickly, we're not in election year, so it is going to take a little bit longer. Now, I have that here. How long will it take to become a U.S. citizen since applying for the N400? That's a great question. Well, it's going to depend on where your case is pending. So once you apply for citizenship, you're then going to get a receipt notice from USCIS. You then can go to USCIS's website and look up case processing times. Most citizenship applications are going to go to what's called a local field office. So for our Richmond office, our cases are going to go to Norfolk, Virginia, or they're going to go to Fairfax, Virginia, closer to DC. So that's going to depend. And when you go to USCIS's website, after you have the receipt notice and your case is pending, you're going to put in your N400 application and you're going to put where your case is pending. And it's going to give you the average case processing times. If I was to come up with a general guess, I would say probably anywhere between 8 months to 14 months generally across the board. Last year was an election year and it was super quick. It was like 3 months or 6 months, especially in the Virginia area. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but I definitely think that it's something everyone should do if they qualify for. Another question that I received over on TikTok was, I'm married a US citizen. Can I apply for citizenship after 3 years or 5 years? So if you got your green card through your spouse, then you can apply after 3 years, which is the shortest time. If you got your green card through something else, like through your employer, for example, and then you marry a US citizen, you are still subject to the 5 years wait time for citizenship. It's not that you got the green card through another process, then on year 2, you marry a US citizen, and then you get to kind of change and apply for citizenship after 3 years. So how you got the green card, and you can look at the category on your green card, like the actual physical card, that is going to dictate the 3 years versus the 5 years. Most everyone has to wait 5 years. There's also a thing called VAWA, which stands for Violence Against Women's Act. If you received your green card through your spouse or VAWA, which is essentially that your spouse was either a green card holder or a citizen and they were emotionally or physically abusive, then you still get your green card after 3 years. So with VAWA or marrying a US citizen, those are the two ways that you get to apply for citizenship after only 3 years. All other case types, including employment or other family-based or humanitarian means in which someone got their green card, it's a 5-year wait period. Okay. So Zahir says, I just applied like 4 weeks ago. And when I checked online, my case status said your biometrics are scheduled already, but there's no date on the website. I live in the DMV area. Okay. So the status online and that your biometrics are scheduled, but there's no date. Okay. So you won't have the date online. When you check the USCIS status online, it's going to give you just the status. It's not going to give you details. So for example, your case has been received and a receipt notice was issued, or a biometrics notice was issued, or an interview notice was issued. But it's not going to have the details of when the biometric time or date or when the interview is, because it is public information that you're putting a receipt notice on the website. So you have to wait for the physical mail to be received by yourself or whoever, if you have an attorney who's receiving it. And that will have the details of your biometrics. If this said 4 weeks ago and you still haven't received the receipt notice, you can call USCIS and see if they will give you the information, or if they have the tracking number, or if they can resend the receipt notice to you in case you had some sort of mailing issues. Sometimes they will even email you the receipt notice. I don't know if in this environment they would do something like that, but that's another, okay. Receipt notice, you're saying I already received the receipt notice. Yes, but you checked online and they said a biometrics was scheduled. You now are waiting for the notice with the details of your biometrics, right? That's the next steps. If too long passes by, then maybe it got lost in the mail, and that's when you need to call USCIS. But USCIS on the website, they're just going to put the status. They're not going to tell you the details. They're going to mail you. They're always going to mail you, unless this is an online filing. Even then, they still will mail you the receipt notice. All right, great questions. So who can a U.S. citizen apply for? They can apply for their fiance. They can apply for their siblings. My pleasure, Zahir. Thanks for joining. So fiancés and siblings are relationships that only a U.S. citizen can apply for. Green card holders can't apply for fiancés or siblings. But spouse, unmarried children, even married children, your parents, if you're over 21, and your sibling. One thing to note about the fiance visa is that you do have to meet in person within the last 2 years, and you had to have met in person during that time. All right, so a quick recap is the N600, why it's super important to get that certificate of citizenship in addition to your passport in this day and age. Don't wait to file for citizenship. We talked about the 3 years versus the 5 years. And then even when you become a citizen, who you can apply for, your fiance, your spouse, children, parents, siblings. So a lot of categories will open up for you once you naturalize, and that can make all the difference in your family's future. We are running a July deal. Our July deal is $100 off, and the coupon is all caps July and the number 4. You will enter it into your case evaluation when you book online. You must book online, enter the July 4 coupon, have your case evaluation, be offered a contract, and sign up within the month of July, and you will get $100 off your legal fees. We don't do this often, This is a very special 4th of July event. And so I encourage you all to take the leap and become a citizen. We will guide you through it. And if you know anyone else who hasn't, encourage them. If you're already a citizen or green card holder, you want to file for someone, we are a full service immigration firm. We do employment law, employment-based and business immigration, as well as family, humanitarian, deportation. So go online, book a case evaluation so we can hear from you and give us all the details possible. Thank you so much for joining us this 4th of July. Like I said, it's a complex day. We're happy for all the values and the freedoms and opportunities that we get here in the United States as immigrants. But there's also a lot of heartache and grief caused by the American government, especially in this environment that has torn through our immigrant communities, that has bombed people abroad and destroyed families, destroyed lives. So we hold space for the gratitude and the grief today. Happy 4th of July. Hope you guys get some great food. We're slow cooking some chicken shawarma and Santa Maria tri-tip today. And we have some Asian custard dessert. So our 4th of July is about representing all cultures, which make America beautiful, make America strong, and it fuels us, really. So thank you so much for joining. Happy 4th to everyone. Don't forget about the July special. Go online, book a case evaluation, and watch our other videos below. Make sure you qualify. Make sure there's something that you can articulate when you book the case evaluation that you think you do need an attorney for. It's not information gathering. We want to make sure that you're coming to us because you're ready to move forward on a case. And happy 4th, everyone.